slow, and welcome to United States Timeline. Today, we explore the extraordinary life of the man who shaped the very foundation of the United States, George Washington, a leader in war, a unifier in peace, and a symbol of integrity. Washington's story is more than just history. It is the journey of a man who carried a nation on his shoulders. This is the complete biography of George Washington. George Washington was born on February 22, 1732, in Westmoreland County, Virginia. He grew up in a world ruled by British colonial power, a society shaped by strict social classes and limited opportunities. His father, Augustine Washington, was a respected landowner, and his mother, Mary Bull Washington, was known for her discipline and strong will. But Washington's childhood changed dramatically when his father died in 1743. At just 11 years old, he lost not only a parent but also the chance for a formal education in England, a privilege common for boys from wealthy families. Instead, he learned practical subjects, mathematics, land surveying, and basic sciences. These were the skills that would guide his early career. At the young age of 16, Washington began working as a surveyor, trekking through the vast and rugged wilderness of Virginia. These early expeditions taught him independence, leadership, and a physical toughness that would define his future. By his early 20s, Washington was drawn to military service. In 1753, he volunteered for a dangerous mission into the Ohio Valley. His task was to deliver a message to the French, who were expanding into British-claimed territory. This mission tested his courage like never before. He crossed icy rivers, navigated dense forests, and faced hostile encounters. Yet, he completed the task successfully, earning recognition for his bravery. The following year, Washington led troops in the French and Indian War, where he experienced both the thrill of victory and the sting of defeat. At the Battle of Fort Necessity, he made strategic mistakes that forced him to surrender. This early failure, though discouraging, taught him invaluable lessons in military strategy and humility. Despite these setbacks, Washington's reputation as a capable leader grew. He was gaining experience in commanding men, understanding military structures, and navigating political challenges, skills that would prove essential during the American Revolution. In 1759, Washington's life took a significant turn when he married Martha Dandridge Custis, a wealthy widow with 2 children. Their marriage brought him financial stability, deep emotional support, and a strong partnership that would last his entire life. With his personal life settled, Washington entered the world of politics, serving in the Virginia House of Burgesses. Known for his calm demeanor and powerful sense of duty, he quickly became a respected figure. However, a storm was brewing. Growing tensions between the American colonies and the British government soon drew him toward a much larger stage. As Britain imposed new taxes like the Stamp Act and the Tea Act, colonial anger reached a boiling point. Washington firmly believed these laws were unjust and that the colonies deserved representation in the government that taxed them. In 1774, he was chosen as a delegate to the First Continental Congress, where he joined other legendary leaders like Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Benjamin Franklin. Their message to Britain was clear. The colonies demanded their rights and freedoms. When the first shots of the American Revolution were fired in 1775, the colonies needed a unifying leader, someone strong, respected, and experienced. That leader was George Washington. In June of that year, Washington was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the new Continental Army. He accepted the monumental role with humility, fully aware that his army was poorly trained, poorly equipped, and vastly outnumbered by the mighty British forces. Despite these overwhelming challenges, Washington's brilliant leadership kept the revolution alive. His most famous victory came on a freezing Christmas night in 1776, when he led his troops across the icy Delaware River to launch a surprise attack on Hessian forces in Trenton. This bold maneuver was a stunning success, restoring American morale when all hope seemed lost. The brutal winter at Valley Forge tested the army to its limits. Soldiers froze and starved, suffering from disease and exhaustion. Through it all, Washington worked tirelessly to hold his army together. With the help of the Prussian officer Baron von Steuben, The troops were transformed, emerging from that terrible winter stronger and more disciplined than ever before. After years of hardship, sacrifice, and incredible perseverance, Washington secured the final decisive victory in 1781 at Yorktown, with crucial assistance from French allies. This triumph effectively ended the war and secured American independence once and for all. After the war, Washington did something that astonished the world. He voluntarily gave up his immense military power and returned to his farm at Mount Vernon. Leaders everywhere praised his integrity. It's reported that even Britain's King George III said that if Washington truly surrendered his command, he would be the greatest man in the world. Washington hoped for a peaceful retirement, but the new, fragile nation soon needed him again. The Articles of Confederation were failing to hold the states together. So, in 1787, Washington played a key role in the Constitutional Convention, helping to write the U.S. Constitution and shape the future government of the United States. In 1789, he was unanimously elected the first President of the United States, the only president in history to receive every single electoral vote. As president, he established traditions and systems that still guide the nation today. He formed the first presidential cabinet. He helped create the federal court structure. He tirelessly promoted unity between the states. And he established the fundamental idea that the president serves the people, not himself. Washington served 2 terms and then, once again, chose to step down. He refused a 3rd term, reinforcing the principle that the presidency was a position of service, not a throne of power. In his famous farewell address, he offered timeless advice, warning against the dangers of political parties, national division, and unnecessary foreign alliances, warnings that are still discussed and debated today. After leaving office in 1797, Washington finally returned to his beloved Mount Vernon, hoping for rest and peace. Yet, even in retirement, he continued to serve when called. As tensions rose with France, President John Adams asked him to command a new army, a duty he accepted, though he never had to return to active duty. On December 14, 1799, George Washington passed away at the age of 67. The nation mourned deeply. Tributes poured in from across the world, honoring his unmatched leadership, his unwavering character, and his immense sacrifice. Washington left behind a legacy that is unmatched in American history. He proved that true leadership is built on a foundation of integrity, humility, and service to others. He became the living symbol of American independence and unity, a leader who always placed his country above his own personal ambition. George Washington was more than a general and more than a president. He was the foundation upon which a nation was built. His life continues to inspire generations of leaders and citizens around the world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this biography, please give this video a like and subscribe to United States Timeline for more great historical stories.